AR makes the R sound. R. It's a combination of an ah and a So your mouth is going to move shape from the beginning of that sound to the end of it. R. And on the ah part, your jaw is really dropped. R is the sound of AR in most words. We also mentioned briefly that if you see AR at the end of a longer word like calendar or particular, let me put particular in the chat. If it's at the end of a longer word, it will change to the sound because it will be unaccented. Now look at this word particular. You'll see that there's two ARs in there. The first one says R. The last one says And that's an example of when AR comes at the end of a longer word, it will say but that doesn't happen very often. Almost always you're going to see R in the beginning and middle of words. And I just had a lesson with my last class with a bunch of AR words like these. You're going to see that it can come at the end of short words like far, but usually it's going to come at the beginning like arcade or in the middle of words. Far, barn, bark, farm, star, scarf, alarm, smart, arcade, depart. There's an ARR sound in all of those. So R is definitely the most common sound. Wait a minute, I didn't share my screen with that. Can you see that? You probably can't. So I was looking at these. So the AR at the end of a small word can say R, but usually at the end of a longer word, it's going to say Usually AR will say R. Far, barn, bark, farm, star, scarf, alarm, smart, arcade, depart. R is the most common sound for AR. So that's what we're going to refresh our memory on from last time. If you were here, if you weren't here last time, then just hang on for just a quick second while we review these extra practice words, and then we'll get on to today's lesson. So I'll say these words 2 times if you want to say them the second time after me to make sure that, or with me to make sure that you're saying them correctly. Number 1, clarty. Clarty. Number 2, blarpend. You can say and, but A at the end of a longer word usually makes the schwa sound and says Either one can be correct though. Blarpend or blarpand is just fine. Number 3, best party. Best party. That just sounds like a fun word. Best party. Number 4, flarpendum. Flarpendum. Number 5, this is a soft C because there is an E after it, so that C is going to make the S sound. Semplartifact. Semplartifact. 6, glepartim. Glepartim. Number 7, starfendim. Pay attention to the shape of your mouth on this letter and this letter. Make sure that your mouth is open wider on this one than on this one so that those sounds are different. Starfendim. Starfendim. Pisharm. Jipisharm. Jipisharm. Number 9, citridarp. Citridarp. And number 10, let me move my paper. Lepimartidi. 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 Now, if this is your first time, don't worry. All your words are not going to be like lepimartidi. We're going to start from the very beginning every lesson. So don't you worry. Now, I was going to come over here and just mute everybody real fast. Okay, back to our lesson. So we're going to talk about 3 graphemes that make the same sound today. ER, IR, and UR all make the same sound. So it's a by 3 for the price of one. 3 graphemes make the sound ER says IR says UR says We're going to talk about that in a minute. But for now, let's look at our phonemic awareness warm-up. Put in the chat if you know how many sounds are in wrench. How many sounds in wrench? Stretch it out. There's a sound in there where the tongue goes to the top of your mouth. Make sure you grab that one. Pay attention to the shape of your mouth. Every time your tongue moves or every time your mouth moves, that's a new sound. So in wrench, we have that's where the tongue is at the top of my mouth, and ch. 4 mouth shapes, 4 sounds. So the next word that I want you to count the sounds in is night. But before you count night, that has another Old English, it's a, what do they call it? Silent letter pair. It's a silent letter pair. WR is a silent letter pair. KN and GH. You only hear one of the letters in that pair. In the KN, as in night, you only hear the N, and you don't hear the GH at all. So there's some hints. IGH is its own little thing. So there's some hints as to how many sounds are in night. Go ahead and count them and put them in the chat. It's a hard one because I showed you what it looks like. So put the letters out of your mind. Only count the sounds. It's a hard one for a couple reasons, actually. So night has technically 3 sounds. We have with that tongue to the top of your mouth again. I and t. I, t. Any questions on that? Feel free to unmute if you're confused about the sounds in night. 3 sounds. I, t. Okay. Now, box is going to have 2 correct answers. So go ahead and put how many sounds you hear in box. So here's what I want you to be careful of when you are considering the sounds in box. It begins with a really fast sound, B. And when that happens, the letter after it, or the sound after a very quick sound like B, is going to want to attach itself to it. So the first sound in box is not ba. You have to get that ah off of the B. Okay? So in box, there's technically 2 correct answers. There's B, ah, and X is the X sound. Or, yes, Mary, very good. Or because that X makes 2 sounds, K and S, it can also be 4 sounds. B, ah, K, S. Depends on if you're going to count that X sound as 1 or 2 sounds. So box has at least 3, B, ah, X. And you could technically break up that X sound to make 4 sounds. B, ah, K, S. How'd you do on those? Put in the chat. I mean, I saw a lot of your answers, but was it confusing on those? Because I put some hard ones in there today. Am I being too hard on you on these phonemic awareness warm-ups? That one was a tough one. Yeah. Tricky but fun. Okay. I'm good. All right. A little bit hard. Okay. Is ox a digraph? No. So good question. So I had a question, is inbox is OX a digraph? I'm so glad she asked that in case somebody else also had that question. It's not. A digraph is two letters that makes one sound. So the O is making an A sound and the X is making a X sound. So a digraph would be like SH, TH, or CH, or PH. They only make one sound, not two. But excellent question. Let's hop on down to our. So ER, IR, and UR will all say Let me put some examples of real words with ER in them. Feel free to message me if you can think of some ER words, because I'm already kind of blanking. We have herd, as in a herd of cattle. ER. Oh, ER comes at the end of a lot of words, like, yeah, nerd. I like that one. Sister, father, mother, teacher. It comes at the end of a lot of words. It's actually its own little suffix. Yeah. IR words now, if you can think of some of those, put them in the chat. They make the same sound. Bird, chirp, flirt. For me, thank you. First, yeah, that IR is still making the sound. The sound hasn't changed. Adama, that IR, the AI is actually the team in that word instead of the IR. Girdle, good one. And then we need some words with UR, as in. Thank you. Keep them coming. Nurse. Oh, nice ones, guys. Thank you. Purpose. Yes. Further. Yes. So IR, purse, purple. Oh, you guys are good. Yes. So ER, IR, and UR all say So we're going to experiment with all three of those teams today. Not a vowel team, digraph. So let's go ahead and mark my number one. I'm going to use this ER. I'm going to mark that together, and it just says This I is going to make it short sound because there's not another vowel 1 or 2 doors down. C is going to make it soft sound because there's an E after it. Everything has a because. So when you pencil read this word, it's Certip. Go ahead and try yours over here. I'll be quiet while you work. So when we pencil read this word, we have a voiceless P, voiceless F, I, and T. So the P, the F, and the T are all voiceless, which means there's only air that comes out. No vocal cords are used. P, R, F, I, T. When you blend those sounds together, we have perfect. Perfect. By the way, I did update that module in the course so that you can now see that video of all of the correct sounds of the alphabet and the shape that your mouth should be in when you that sound. It's in the training modules at the beginning, and I believe it's called Correct Sounds Video. Correct Sounds of the Alphabet, something like that. Number 2. So I have a soft G here because there's an I after it. So the G is going to sound like a J. This IR is what I have to recognize as a team. It's going to say This O is going to say because the next 2 letters are consonants. So when I pencil read, I have j, ah, p, jertomp, jertomp, jertomp. Go ahead and try yours over here. So we have a soft C because there's an I after it. So the sounds are s, p, I, s, t, surpissed, surpissed. Make sure when you say that I sound that your mouth is in a wide smile shape with your with a very narrow opening, like a I don't want to eat that face. I keep thinking of the emoji with the square smile. That's like the perfect shape that your mouth should be in when you make the I sound. Make sure that you kind of smile a little bit. You grin when you say I. So that word would be surpissed, surpissed, so that your I comes out the correct sound, with the correct sound. 3, I have another soft G because there's an E after it. Those 3 magic letters are E, I, Y. They force a G to say J or a C to say S. Soft sounds, and they only happen if there's an E, I, or Y after them. Here I have a short E because the next 2 letters are consonants. This UR is our new reading hack, and it just says So when you pencil read these words, you have J, bull, Gellert, Gellert. Did you get that? Okay, good. Try to get yours over here. So we have that soft G, J, because the next 2 letters are consonants, so that's going to be short. Your UR is our trick for the day. It just says J, p, k, Jeperk, Jeperk. How'd you do? Did you get it? Did you get Jeperk? Yeah? Yay! Put in the chat. Yay! We got Jeperk. Okay, so for number 4, I already recognize that. Clear my paper here. I already recognize my new reading hack for the day. IR says just like ER and UR. This E is going to say because the next 2 letters are consonants, and Y at the end of a longer word usually says E. Y at the end of a longer word usually says E. So when we pencil read that, we have P, R, S, N, T, percenty, percenty, percenty. Okay, try yours over here. Yep. What I want you to be careful of is this N right here is going to want to sound like an M. You're going to want to put your lips together because that's the shape that your mouth is going in to make the P sound. So make sure that you enunciate that N. Certainty is what that is. We have a certainty. 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 you do on that? Will you put in the chat how you're doing? Especially with that last one. Thank you. Good, good, good. If everybody was like, what is going on? Then I'd go a lot slower. Yay, Kevin! Woo! I'm so happy to hear that. Yay, Blair! Oh, that's good news. That is great news. Okay, so today was so far so good. Some lessons are easier than others, right? Some lessons are a little bit or a little on the tricky side. Okay, so I would like to know if anybody wants to try any extra practice ones with me giving you live feedback. Put in the chat if you would like to.